So if you've not seen by now, Jagex has come out with a new game, and it is Runescape Dragon Wilds. Now, obviously this is just a beta at the moment. We have got a roadmap on obviously the game itself, and I want to go over, is it worth giving it a go? Now, obviously if you are a Runescape fanatic, I'd probably say yes without even batting an eyelid. But if we have a look at the roadmap to see where we can kind of go with this, as you'll see, you'll have new regions, new Dragon Overlord, you have new skills, magic range and farming. We have RuneScape roots, new quests, lore, gear and music. We then have plenty of more of enemy types, obviously lesser dragons. If you'll kind of get the gist of it if you do come from RuneScape, obviously. New Dragon Slayer gear, masterwork weapons, expanded base, homesteading, building defenses, hardcore mode, creative mode as well, new critters, animals, new vaults, and new crafting tiers as well as raising skill caps, which is always interesting because obviously we'll go through that in a second. Then obviously if we have a look through, you've obviously got all your combats and stuff like that. So this is just your generic. You'll get more and more as the game does come out. So if we have a look, you've obviously got the beta side of it. So obviously it is live. You won't necessarily lose anything when it does go into the main game. So let's start into the world. Very customizable, friendly. You can obviously go into co-op, you can go into private, or you can go into solo, depending on what you want to do. So it is very good if you have got the friends option. I would be very interested to see if they could interact this with a more larger base of public players, but I don't know whether the game is personally built for that specifically. So as we load into the world, you basically see that I kind of get almost a Guild Wars-esque sort of vibe, because when you look at RuneScape, you're kind of used to the overhead down, not necessarily moving your mouse and moving your character. So obviously you've got your generic keys. That is just to move. Obviously you've just got to actually do the animations as well, whereas more RuneScape was kind of like just clicking and basically it does it all for you. So when you do look across the kind of pond, you've obviously got the maps, and naturally you will unlock more as I do progress. As you can see, I haven't necessarily done a crazy amount yet, so we'll be going to do that very, very soon. We have got the skill set, so you can see we've got the ones at the moment. If you've ever played RuneScape, you've got melee or weapons, whatever you want to call it, attack. You've got magic, you've got ranged, mining, woodcutting, crafting, construction, cooking, and rune crafting. These are the basics at the very start. Now if I do go into something like woodcutting, you'll be able to see that each level will give you some sort of bonus, with also then some extra bonuses on certain levels. So you can see at level 4 we get the overhead chop. Then if you keep going down at level 11, we can have the ability to have basically like an axe projection, so we can almost cut the trees down by throwing a mythical sort of axe. And as you see now, we've obviously got a bit further down. We can obviously get bird's nest, and it goes all the way down to your 99. Obviously, you've got to get a bit closer, and you'll be able to see a little bit more of that. That then goes for every single skill, so you can see that we do have a few of them that do have certain abilities. So if I go into and press Q, you'll be able to see that I have got like the wind step, I've got the rock explosion, projection, we've got the tempest shield. So as you do more and more quests, more and more skills, the more and more levels that you do progress there. When then we look at the spellbook, you obviously got a few different things. As you can see, we can move stuff around if we want to obviously unlock quite a lot. We can change that if we really want. The journal is just going to be different recipes. We've obviously got the world, and you can obviously go and see a bit more about the actual game itself. So realistically, it is a very much crack on and do what you want. Like obviously if you go into your map, you'll see that you do have the primary quest, which at the moment is Dragon Slayer. We have a secondary quest in Relentless Ghosts, and then or Restless Ghosts. Then we also have Warding Off Danger, speak to the wise old man and learn about lifewoods. Yeah, I don't know. But in general, it's all about the quests and following the path and leveling up basically. Also, we do have the kind of food element of the game again, so this is going to be something that you will kind of have to deal with. Obviously if I do go into my tab, you'll see that we do have an inventory. Whether we can get something that increases that, I'm just not there as of yet. So as you can see, we can go into the rat roast and we can swap it out, and basically the better the food, the more health it will give us, and the more it will sustain us as such. Now you don't necessarily die from this completely. If you go all the way down to 0, it would basically just give you down to 1 health. So it does mean that you will kind of struggle with everything else if you don't necessarily do anything about it. So let's see if we can do that, and then we just need to... Oh, we need 2 of them. Okay, so we can't do that one. So obviously we can just tab out of that, and we can eat what we had there, and it should give us enough health. As you'll see, takes us up to 75. You then also have the water element of it as well. So if we press Y, we can drink clean water. When it comes to doing the sort of skills, you've obviously got yourselves the normal pickaxe. You've got the woodcutting axe, I suppose. It's a pickaxe and an axe, woodcutting axe, and naturally you just obviously got this. You have got a build mode, as you just saw there a second ago. So obviously we've got here, we can do a construction build. You can also do it in ghost mode, so you don't necessarily have to give up any of your resources. So you can kind of pre-build, as you see here. I'm looking to build a little bit more. When it comes to the movement side of stuff, it's not necessarily the worst. It takes a little bit of getting used to in comparison to a lot of different stuff, but I mean, it still works just as fine. So I think when we look at this game and think, is it worth the £25? And I think personally, if Jagex were to really hold on to this game and utilize that roadmap that they're actually going for, then I wouldn't see why not. The game itself has got the ability to really do quite well. Now, I'm hoping that they do continue to do the roadmap of... That was a great shot. I'm really hoping that they do have the ability to keep going with it, because naturally, the game itself is a already solid one. You have yourselves a very good basis of people already wanting to play it, and I think as long as you do keep progressing, there's nothing really that could go wrong. It's just another game that people can play and kind of grind over as such. So for me, I think it's an absolute winner. I don't think they could go personally wrong at all with it. That's a great shot. So in general, I'm very, very happy with how this game has come out. I never even knew that this was kind of in progression, really. So it will be interesting to see later on game. It's the only thing that I'm trying to kind of keep to myself is... Ooh, okay, is kind of the game's almost kind of mid-game technology, because I'm very much at the start, because like I say, I didn't even know this was going to be a game. It was kind of just brought upon me that I saw someone playing a new RuneScape-esque game, and if you've ever known me before, RuneScape was the game. So overall, I think it's well worth its kind of in advance, and I think if Jagex does continue to do something with this, the only thing I could think of that could make this game a little bit better is adding some sort of multiplayer-esque campaign that you could do if obviously you are not necessarily got friends that want to play it as well, because that's going to be the only kind of drawback, is that this will be incredible with a group of 4, with a group of 3, even if you're just duoing it, it will be very good that way. So unfortunately, if you are soloing, it might feel a little bit lonely at times, and I think that's the good thing about RuneScape. You've got that ability to be on your own, and you can do your kind of extra stuff, but then also you don't have to as well, which is kind of the big thing, which I personally really like. So let me know down below what you think about them. Let me know if you've had a go and if you are going to buy it. But apart from that, we'll keep going with some of the reviews and also some of the tactics, and we'll hopefully get pretty far in this game.